Hello and welcome to this, our latest webcast for INMO members. We are recording this on Tuesday the 13th of April. Over the past 2 days, the organisation's Executive Council has considered in detail the proposals on public service pay and transformation which emerged from the recent talks in Croke Park. As you may know, the Executive Council has now decided unanimously to recommend rejection of those proposals when they are put out to ballot subsequent to our forthcoming annual delegate conference. The reasons for the decision to recommend rejection are manifold and include the lack of certainty about pay. Essentially, the only certainty in the agreement is that if you don't implement it, your pay will be cut. And then moving to the area of work that we're most concerned about in the health service. The agreement requires us to accept the government moratorium with the requirement to lose 6,000 more jobs over the next 3 years. That will mean that your world of work, when you go to work on wards and departments and units and in the community, will continue to work short. It's intolerable at the moment, it would get worse, and that is unacceptable. The agreement also requires us to buy into the McCarthy report with its stipulation that we should close 3,500 acute hospital beds over the next 3 years. This is on a day when there was 100 more people on trolleys around the country than there was this time last year. We need acute hospital beds, so no agreement should require us to close them when they are needed by the community and the patients who are ill and requiring care. And also, we are talking about the generality of how we approach change. And the Executive Council is saying that we're not against change, but not change against the backdrop of if you don't do it government's way, we're going to cut your pay. So we're going to annual conference at which we will seek the endorsement of this recommendation for rejection together with an endorsement of the change agenda that we believe is required within the budgets that exist to deliver safe care. We will live with a tight budget. We will not live with a tight budget and a sledgehammer of a staffing moratorium which will take out and damage the infrastructure and the care environment to an even greater extent than has already been the case. After the annual conference, when we hope and expect all of the delegates will endorse this approach, there will be a 3-week nationwide information and balloting campaign to allow every member in the organisation to appraise themselves of why this approach is being recommended by the Executive Council and to indicate their acceptance of this approach. This organisation is not, in making this decision, is not immediately moving to an industrial action phase. We are instead adopting a very mature attitude where we recognise that the pay cuts are not reversible in the year 2010, where we recognise that change has to take place, but change that is patient-centred, community-focused and quality-assured. We are up for a challenge, but not a challenge that has you working in an environment which is patently unsafe. And it is our view that this agreement will create and maintain and sustain that environment for the next 4 to 5 years. So members, thank you for listening. When you see and hear about information meetings and balloting opportunities, please come along, please cast your ballot. But the next step in this process will be a very serious debate at annual delegate conference. These are challenging times and we have to hold on to what we require and what we believe is absolutely necessary, a safe public health service in which you can work satisfied that your practice is helping people to recover and not working in an environment where you cannot deliver safe care. Thank you.